Welcome back into the workshop, and as the dust collector starts to wind itself down, an update, and pretty positive update I've got to say. I decided to reorientate the dust collector to the position it would probably be connected to as a temporary basis. The natural flow of the the dust or the fittings, etc., all come down to this end, sort of. And I'll show you why I say sort of. So I've just got the pan adapter here. I've just got the 90mm pipe hooked up to the what supposedly is a 4-inch duct, flexi duct there. So it's just sitting in there. Everything is just sitting there. There's nothing glued in or anything, no duct tape or anything. And I've just made rudimentary seals over the inlets there. That's another pan adapter which will be or could be used for the drill press, obviously, and or the connection that I could then connect up to go overhead, should that be an option that I pursue. I have cobbled together it's not too bad actually, to be fair, but a solid link between the outlet or the inlet there and the spigot point here, just to see whether I can get it going and how effective it is, in conjunction with making all of the extraction for the miter saw go through the ductwork. I'm 50-50 on it. Yes, it works. Does it work better than the vacuum cleaner hooked up to it with all of the impediments and restrictions? And I'd say probably. I took the Makita connection off and I just shrunk down a bit of PVC, heated it up and shrunk it down, so I've got all of the connectors going to it. Bit of flexi on there, so which is needed because of the nature of the saw movement, so that's okay. At the moment, the pipe kind of is not in the way. I do have to, hang on, let's just see, I've got to draw the saw forward, the miter saw and station forward, probably another 100mm, so that should be fine there. Just put a wee 45 degree on it, and yeah, it's clearing enough. At the moment, it's rolled back on the floor. Up against the pipework. The pipework has to be dropped down, maybe 150mm. And now back to why I said it's kind of connected up properly. Well, and the efficiency not that great, but the dust is going along there. Then it does almost a 180 degree turn and goes back against itself. So no, not ideal, but it is actually the configuration I'd have if the extractor were to be put out in the other room, storage area. That it's even doing an adequate job gives me some heart, because I'd thought that this may not have been anywhere near strong enough, it being a 25-year-old 1 horsepower vacuum or chip collecting system, but it's actually doing not too bad a job. And what I'll do is I just gave that a bit of a brush down so that there's no custom wood dust, at least, on it. There's a wee bit of PVC chip around, and a heck of a lot over there, because after all, until it's connected up, it's not connected up. And when I've cut pieces, it's gone all over the place. So yeah, that's not good. But that's my cut, ready to be cut. Let's just see. Yeah, everything's connected. Now, yes, it is going to get a bit noisy. I'll just slip my earmuffs on. Hang on. Head protection gear. We call them earmuffs. So quite a few people here in NZ. Yeah. So So a lot of dust escaping all over the place. So now I'll give that a bit of a sweep. It's not ideal. and then turn the extractor on and show the difference. Now there is still dust getting out slightly round here, actually. Don't know why, but I think it is because the vacuum isn't quite as good as I would think. Ideal, yeah, that's the word. It's good because otherwise it goes everywhere. And at the moment it's not, so yay. The difference I'd say at the moment between not having it and having it, I'm probably collecting about 90 to 95% of the dust. I think I've had it better when I had it hooked up to the vacuum cleaner, to be fair, but I am hoping that by the time I put the extractor in its correct orientation to the ductwork, it'll get some improvement, plus if I upgrade. And that would be a big... it's a bit of a risk because I can't quantify how much better it would be over what I've got. I would assume somewhat better. And this being a 500 to 600 CFM unit, so apparently, the new one would be 1200 CFM, so probably I would be better with that new one. You would want to think so, wouldn't you? The other option is to go to a 2300 CFM. I think that's a little bit in excess for what I need, and I wonder whether, in fact, even if I did go to that, whether I'd actually start to have problems. I don't know. I was just watching a guy the other day, and he was talking about the ideal CFMs for the main duct line on a 6-inch pipe, which is like 4,000 CFM or some such figure. And then when it drops down to the 4-inch, it's like a 3,000, 2.5 to 3,000 CFM. And I'm going, well, that's what I've got if I bought the more expensive unit, but the more expensive unit is a whole lot bigger. Would it fit out the back there? Don't know. Possibly. But... and it's not much more expensive than the smaller version. The 2-horse motor version and the 3-horse motor is not that much of a jump in price. So it does make you wonder whether I should get the bigger model, because it's not a financial penalty too much, but I'm concerned that I get it and then it is literally too much for this sort of usage. Don't know. Not a lot of bends. It's not a big garage. The runs right from the end there, which is going to be used really, but I've put it in just in case. But going from there down there, it's probably 4 meters. Yeah, about 4 meters, I suppose. So it's not a big distance. Across there is 1.5 meters. Or so not a lot of pipe work to have vacuum applied to it, So I think the 1200 CFM one probably would be enough. I don't know. But yeah, the appeal of the big one is that I've got that little bit more capacity or capability. Decisions. I'm not making the decision yet anyway. It'll be a couple of months away. So it'll give me a chance to get the storage unit emptied, because at the moment it's not, and then I can put this unit out there and see how well it functions or not, and that will be determined largely, not simply all this stuff here, but that thing. That will be the biggest cause of, has the greatest demand with all the chip that it can produce. So that'll be an interesting one. But I'm just looking at it now and I'm thinking, okay, I said that I wouldn't be putting blast gates in at any time in the immediate future, but I'm just looking at it now and I'm thinking, yeah, well, I will be. I'll need to put a blast gate in here so that I can leave the miter saw, miter station hooked up, and I can cut it off here so that when I go to use the chip extractor, it's going to have the best chance of sucking it all up and into the extractor, not clogging. Don't think that will be much of an issue, but it is the one that will catch me being wrong. And yeah, so out the back behind here, it's just it's not a big distance this way for things to go into, and it's where I've got my compressor at the moment tucked out of the way, just because it's a flaming nuisance being in the shop area and the noise. So I have it out there. The inconvenience there is that I can't get to do the drain or anything. So yeah, that's probably a bit of a no-no. If I upgrade that at any time in the future, which I can't see why because I don't use air compressor a lot in this workshop, I might have to look at that and have an elevated platform so I can make an easy access drain or something. So that's there. It's only a tiddly one anyway, so it could improve. Yeah, but there's not a lot of storage. Well, there's a lot of storage, but there's not a lot of room, is what I'm saying. Hey. Rightio, well, that's it. Getting near the end of the day, and I'm quite happy with the outcome, but yeah, could stand a little bit more vacuum at that point for the blade itself. So fingers crossed that should I upgrade something, that will take care of that. Yeah. Well, now you know as much as I do, which is probably not a lot. Okay, I'll see you in the next video, possibly. Okay, bye now.